Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm near Richmond, Virginia at Salisbury Country Club, right?
Yes, sir.
With Gavin Flo, who's Gavin Parker, the top young teacher in America according to Golf Digest. Gavin, I know that you're out here and working with golfers. What's the normal kind of golfers that you work with?
So I see your typical club golfer, high handicap. Then I see your beginner golfer, your lady golfer, your junior golfers, and I see a lot of people who struggle with hitting the ball solid.
Okay. So when it comes, so that's kind of like, we both know Dana Dahlquist, right? Yep. So Dana says that kind of the downward spiral that like, as you go through those levels of golfer is that when you first come to golf, you're like moving all over the place, right? So then you want some control and you start limiting your movement to be able to hit it on the button,
right?
But then as you're limiting the movement, you're killing your athleticism. So why does, what do you, your Instagram handle and I think your TikTok too is Gavin Flo, right?
Gavin Flo.
So what is flow in the golf swing? What do we mean by that?
Flow is
more flow.
Fluidity, effortless motion, just seamless, rhythmic, a lot smooth tempo. It's elegant, it's easy, it is moving, it's natural. You're never trying, it's right now. It's never trying to master some type of position. It's the overall process to hitting a golf swing efficiently.
So flow has been a huge revelation for me in my game. It's gotten me a lot better. But whenever I try to communicate flow to somebody else, they're like, not, especially good players, they're like not on board because they either want to hear about a position to make themselves better or they get nervous and they think like, here, I'll hit one here. And they'll think like, I don't want to move around that much because I won't hit it on the button. So
right.
For example, people will watch Colin or Xander or guys on the tour and they'll want to hit the ball like, okay, I hit the ball pretty good, like that, you know?
Right.
And then they'll be like, why do you want me to go from doing that, hitting it fairly okay, to now it's like, so when you tell them flow, they start getting really like, you know, it's like,
yeah,
now everything's moving. Like, how do I control a sweet spot?
Right.
So how do you get flow but precision with flow?
So I start with just motion, just
okay.
Letting all my students understand that, like, just remove the golf part away and think of golf like a sport. And if you think of all sports, a commonality in all sports is movement. You watch Serena Williams, is she ever standing still? No, she's always moving.
Yeah.
If you watch a baseball player at the mound, they're never standing still, they're always having some type of movement.
Yeah.
Hockey players, soccer players, basketball players. I use Ray Allen a lot. He does the same kind of 2 dribbles, 1 spin, hits it. But then I let them know that flow is the process of doing it. So just letting them understand that, remove golf and trying to master all these positions and put more of an athletic, more sporty, just a more authentic fluidity and just relax and just kind of ease into it. You can't really try to get flow. It just kind of comes to you by allowing yourself just to, you know, give up control in order to gain it.
So you're saying the good positions that we see in a good golfer's golf swing are the result of being athletic. It's not like they're have mastered positions and then they look athletic because of it.
Absolutely.
So it's backwards.
It's backwards, yeah.
So give us the Gavin flow drills.
Oh, perfect.
We love drills here.
Absolutely. So I like to start off with, one of my favorites is like my beginner golfers, I let them know, like, what's the purpose of the golf club? And they always say either to hit the ball, to move the ball, to get the ball in the air. And I always tell them, no, the reason this golf club's created is to hit the ground.
Okay.
So I let them understand that, hey, let's start off by just swinging the whole tool and trying to hit the ground. And I like to start off hitting the ground forwards and backwards. Then once they kind of have that, I encourage them to start moving. And then I might put some balls in their way to start clipping it. Next thing you know, I hit that one a little chunky. Then they kind of find their motion.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
And that's where I start. So a big belief in understanding like what the tool wants to do is all it wants to do is hit the ground the same spot.
Okay.
In order to control the tool, you need to move your entire body, not just your arms.
Do that again, and Jack, come over here face on for us as Gavin's doing that. And then I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Beautiful morning we had today.
Oh, it's really nice.
Gosh, it's sick. Perfect. So, start off, row 3. Whole purpose of this is to understand that you want your players to have a little bit of motion first and hit the ground forwards and backwards. Then once they get a nice cadence, and they'll know when they do it wrong because it'll be all wonky. So you want them to swing the whole tool, hit the grounds forward and backwards. And it provides immediate feedback.
Yeah, that's great.
And it directs a lot of the students' attention on not to the quality of the shot, because let's be honest, most people who play golf want to expect a result there right away.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where if I like to video record this and show them that if their fluidity of how efficiently they're swinging the tool, their motion and their pattern of movement starts to change, that's flow.
Okay.
Instead of, oh, I chunked one. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because when I saw, it's interesting because when you were getting this going, it looks in sync. And then when you said it gets wonky, like that looks like a lot of golf swings with
Yes.
the wonky one.
Yes.
What is that? Does that come from like trying to couple it with the wrong thing? Or like what is I mean, it can come from a lot of things, but what do you think the main culprit of like wonkiness or like a swing fighting against itself is?
Belief system. Most people who've never played golf before think the purpose of this tool is to hit this ball as hard as they can. So when they do that, they only manually move their arms. Where I like to let them know that the tool wants to hit the ground. The ball just happens to be in their way. Okay. So if we get that belief system, I think over time that would negate that, oh, I got to hit this ball well, instead of the whole purpose of this is just to hit the ground.
Okay.
Does that answer that question?
Yeah, it does. And then as we go up in like levels of player,
yep.
What do you tell players that get, say like, all right, so do you want me, like I'm moving, but I feel like I'm drifting a little too much to, so how do we get flow with some like almost like antagonistic forces that will actually keep us have centered flow, you know?
Yes. So I like to use constraint-based coaching styles.
Okay.
So I would then give them, after they've graduated through the, the flow drill, 101, is I then like to give them, let's say the ball's here. I like to have them kind of have their feet together, and I like to give them a cadence that they want to step closer to this ball first, then kind of turn their body, and then when they get somewhere around this space, step in the opposite direction and turn your body.
Oh, okay.
So that gives them a constraint that you can move as much as you want within this space.
Okay, yeah.
And I've learned, I mean, that's one of the best ways to learn anything, at least is some type of constraint.
That's great because, we were doing a lot of step drills recently at the Be Better Golf School, and some people were like,
yes!
Or
Boom.
that, or some people were like,
Yep.
So having some, okay, I'll try this.
So the cadence will go step, turn, step, turn.
Okay.
Yep. Excellent.
Okay. And then since I have these here, I should be able to actually hit a ball, hopefully.
Yeah. Quality. Now, hit a little behind that, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm your coach, in order to direct your attention.
Because then that'll be the thing that'll make most people say, like Jack when we get into it, he'll be like, I like this flow stuff, but I feel like I could hit it anywhere,
Absolutely.
Right.
But where I would direct your attention is you want to be stepping on this side right around here.
Earlier.
Yes.
Oh,
so now there's that change of direction piece.
Okay.
That all athletes have. Instead of the position of how do I start my downswing? Boom. Voila.
Yeah, that was better.
Flowy.
Yeah.
I can't point as straight as you just hit that ball,
right.
man.
Okay. That's great. So then, how does this then relate if we're flowing correctly?
Okay.
A question that comes up an issue that comes up all the time. How does flow relate to when the golf club catches up to your lead arm, as far as everybody, it's past it for a lot of golfers when it's wonky, like you said.
Right.
And for good golfers, it hasn't caught up to it yet.
Right.
So how does flow help us keep the swing in front of itself?
Whew. So what I would say, and one of my, the next drill would be, because that's the thing with flow, is you can't just, get this position and hold it. You must feel it.
Okay.
So I love to give the drill of, most people you see, they do the flighted finish of follow through. So let's say that's the end goal. That's the constraint. Once again, you need to finish here. And I like to give swings as soon as my students feel they're somewhere around here, you're going to change directions. Mm-hmm. So the quicker you change directions, we know that because you're changing directions, the club has to lag behind you instead of you trying to master this angle.
Oh, okay.
So it looks something like. So one more time, I felt like right around somewhere in here, you're changing directions. Mm-hmm. You only can finish here. It's another really good constraint-based.
Okay. So you try to change directions earlier than you think.
Bingo.
And then have that straight arms finish. So.
Yes.
Oh, that's too late.
Yeah, bingo. So, and that was amazing. So that power to give a student that you knew immediately, that was too late.
Yeah.
Now they know instead of, when do I know when to change directions?
Okay. When do I know when to change directions? Yeah. Okay.
And that has to be some type of
personal thing, huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah. That was good. So, excellent. I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So then, when it comes to flow and everything, I want to ask you, like, with the famous Tiger and Butch Harmon pause drill, 1, 2, 3, and then hit it. How do you do a pause drill with flow, or is pause drills kind of poisonous for people the way they do it?
So I'm going to argue.
You can go over here, Jack.
Yeah. I'm going to argue that I'm a big advocate of a pause drill because for most people who don't have flow in their golf swing, they're starting their change of direction sequence inefficiently.
Yeah.
Meaning they're going to use their arms, then their hands, then their torso, then their hips. That pause drill allows your brain to kind of self-organize that, hold on, my backswing's done. Mm-hmm. How do I now start my downswing? It probably needs to have some type of sequence that starts from the ground up. Very similar to how you need to change directions in the first place.
Oh, okay.
So I don't mind the pause drill. But there's a time and place for it.
Okay.
So I'm an advocate of it. You get here, no one's going to start like that.
Yeah.
You need to start from the ground up.
The system has to start bumping, moving.
Bingo.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see it.
I'm going to do that one more time.
Yeah. That's always been super hard for me to do that. That was good.
Little pitch and wedge.
Really good. Yeah, it's my club too. I was like, does he have the DST line on his club?
No.
My club.
I love it.
Okay. Okay. Flow, pause, hit.
Beautiful.
Straight arms. Blending all this stuff together.
Let's do it.
Overdoing it. Almost. Yeah. What'd you see there, Gavin?
You know what?
A little almost.
Yeah. It's good.
Woo! That was better. And then I think the difference between those is like, the first time you're here and you're like, I'm not moving.
Yep.
So you go from not moving to moving. But if you can go, you're here and be like, okay, instead of just moving, you can go like.
Yes.
It's hard to put into words, but it's like, you want to start rolling a big boulder over a hill. You don't just like shock it like this.
No.
You kind of like
it's gradual.
Push it. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
For sure.
If you guys are interested in Gavin, go to Instagram at GavinFlow, or also go to his huge TikTok account. We're going to talk more with Gavin here on this trip. So subscribe here to Be Better Golf. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.